Right, so hopefully this will be fourth time lucky. Right, so I gave the camera time to rest. So I've tried. It's now maybe about 20 minutes past 4. So I'm out doing the thing that I normally do. So I've come out walking at this time in the morning to have not just space, but I've got a busy day tomorrow. And I need to deal with my sister. And right now, I don't have the energy or the spirit to be dealing with other people who serve only to drag me down. And I'm going to elaborate on the events of the last couple of days. I posted some of it on Facebook, but you will recall me saying that I'm done with human beings. Now, on Monday, my sister in Canada got in contact after 2.5 years, asking if we need, if kind of like if not me, if we need anything. We meaning my sister, obviously, because I'm all right, Jack kind of thing. So she's offering money. So my sister was sitting a few paces away. So I asked her if she would like her to help. And I put it this way, that she is offering, and sometimes when people are offering, it's good to accept, so that they don't have the excuse of saying, well, I offered to help and they said no. So it was on that basis. So anyways, I'm gonna not go into that, because I don't mean to chuck anybody under the bus. But and I'm not gonna say one way or the other whether that offer was genuine. It could be genuine, but my thoughts were she doesn't, as far as I know, have her own income. So it would be money from her husband. And if in 2.5 years he's never dipped his hand into his pocket to help, I don't quite understand what's changed, if you get my drift. So it wasn't until I was speaking to my good friend, the one I've known for more than 25 years, and relaying the incident to her yesterday evening, that would be Tuesday evening, that a light bulb went on. And I forgot that mother would have been dishing out an inheritance. I'm not saying that my sister got any of it. I don't know, but I know my brother would definitely not get any. And I most certainly wouldn't. Right? Because she was trying to cut me into her will at one point. And I declined, because that's a game that she plays. She gives, and then you're beholden to her, kind of thing. And then when there's a falling out, she'll go and tell people what she did for you, typically. So it's not because I'm cautious as to her behavior. It's more to do with the fact that I'm not one of these people who sit down waiting for people to die so that I can capitalize. So anyway, we were having a WhatsApp exchange, and she asked me if I've heard from Natalie. Now, Natalie is the stranger that my mother picked up shortly before she died. Well, let me say good morning. Good morning. Natalie is a stranger. I've never met the woman, never spoken to the woman, don't know anything about her. But it seems she knew a lot about me, but I could have guessed that anyway, because knowing the nature of mother, I know she would have told her all manner of lies. I have loads of videos on YouTube that I've uploaded, if you like, for the record, and posts on Facebook about things that she was doing while she was alive, such as contacting the agency that supplies the carers, telling them that I'm abusing my sister and starving her. Then she wrote in the social worker, who only ever visited the flat, I think on 2 occasions, maybe 2 or 3, maximum 3. And on all, apart from, no, I had a conversation with him on the phone and that didn't go well for him. And then, let me cross over. And then then he came with backup to, if you like, catch me out. And at that point, that day when he came, I put my sister in bed because I was cleaning the flat because the landlord was coming to do an inspection. And the best place for her to be, so she's not in my way, was in bed. So he comes in and straight away, is she sick? Why is she in bed? Now, I'm going to come back to that because I'm going to be walking for at least an hour. So I've got time. Since mother died, she was in his ear. He said so. Because he came and he's talking about how she loves us and how are my girls and all this crap. I've done a video, I know that. And I mentioned that. And it's like, I don't understand how this complete stranger, the social worker, but at least I'd met him on a couple of occasions and he'd got ear bashing from me initially upon the first conversation when he first called, because it was, I identified straight away that he wasn't there to help, he was there to find fault. Right, so that, as if that isn't bad enough, a complete waif and stray that she picked up. And that's what she does, that's what she did. Walks around crying to people, telling them all sorts, and they all believe her. Even people who've known us for years, she did that to back in the 90s. She did that with somebody. And this is somebody who knew us. This sister I'm talking about in Canada, when she kicked her out, when mother kicked her out, he was the one who took her in, right? And let her live rent-free so she could save money for her wedding. And this was somebody who knew us. And yet, this woman, she didn't know who he was. He moved around the estate where we lived. She didn't know who this man was, but she was talking to him. And occasionally when she's cursing us, as she was prone to doing, she would mention him. And, she didn't even know his name. His name was Sam, but she was calling him Johnny. Right, so I said this Johnny, who is actually Sam, was the guy that took my sister. I won't say what my sister's name is. He's the one that took her in when they kicked her out. And at that point, that's where she switched. And I met him one day. I remember I was coming back from the hairdresser. And I met him with tears in his eyes, telling me how wicked my mother was. And I said, why? But I had a smile because I knew what it was. I was in the shop and she cussed me. Right. But that's typical. What do you expect? So, right, turning back now. My training place is just across the road there. Right, so that's sort of like a bit of backstory for you. What I said, the leopard doesn't change its spot. A rattlesnake is a rattlesnake is a rattlesnake. So anyways, as I said, up until very recently, last week, even this week, I was saying I'm done with human beings. Now, Satan has a way of, he will find ways. So enter my sister. Because like I said, in 2.5 years, they've never so much as offered her anything. Apart from thoughts and prayers and the like. Right? So now she's offering money. when I was speaking to my friend in the evening, my friend suggested to me that the reason why she got in touch, I'm not saying this is it, I'm just sort of putting things out there. Reason why she got in contact was because she wanted to know what is going on with Natalie and mother's property, money, etc. Because remember, this is a complete stranger that she picked up and she turned everything over to her. So I said to my friend, for all you know, Natalie could be renting out her property and making money. There's so many different ways that she could be doing this because there's nobody there to keep an eye on her, right? So, and then, obviously, like I said, my friend's even more cynical than me. She said, maybe it's about the money. They just want to find out about their inheritance and all of that. And that they got in touch with me because it was my sister that mentioned that mother had established a trust fund for my sister and whatever. So I said, well, get Natalie to call. Anyway, Natalie sent her a message, which I've posted on Facebook, and I've shared it amongst my friends. Because I do this for the record. I redacted like my sister's, the two sisters' names, but I left the social worker's name, Robert, and I left her name, Natalie, because these are not anybody of any importance or any significance. Not saying that my sisters are of any importance or any significance more so than them. I'm just saying that these people, I don't know them, and they deserve to be named and shamed. So anyways, the only way that my sister can get her inheritance is that she remains dependent on carers. And so instead of getting in contact with me, this Natalie character got in touch with my sister and asked if the care package that my sister has been discontinued. The full care package, rather. Let me tell you what the full care package is. It's one carer coming. She'll be there around 5:30 in the morning because she comes when it suits her. So she'll come at 5:30 in the morning and disturb me 7 days a week, so I don't get to sleep properly. And then she'll, sort of wash and dress my sister, and that doesn't occupy the full half an hour. That's what she does. And then, she washes her, dresses her, and puts her back to bed. And that's all. And then the next step will be that she puts her back to bed. And then in the evening, the one will come to get, this is literally what this carer does. This is the full care package, right? She gets her out of the chair, takes her to the toilet, and puts her in the bed, right? And I've already said that in 2 years I've never brushed my sister's teeth. So this full care package that she speaks of, I had to laugh. So what I did was, when I received the message, my sister is an upstanding, very religious person. Nevertheless, the message that was forwarded to me deserved this response. So I told her, I don't swear, but I will write the words, right? I said to her, tell Natalie to F off and tell Robert to F off, right? So, and then I was trying to call her, but she didn't answer the phone. She said she was busy. She was looking after a small boy, right? So, you see, this is a level of cowardice. So my next step was to call my brother. And I demanded that he give me Natalie's number and Robert's number. And I said to him, if you don't give me the number, primarily Natalie's number, because I needed to take her head off, really. I said, if you don't give me her number, when I come off the phone, I'm going to have to bring up the agency and tell them that they need to come and take my sister and put her in a care home. And I'm going to F off. Like I said, I don't swear. So that's exactly what I said. I'm going to F off. So anyway, I called this Natalie. He gave me the number because obviously I'm not going to take responsibility for my sister. Because when I said I will pick up my ass and leave, he said to me, you can't do that, which I found interesting. Why can't I do it? Have they ever done anything to help? So why, if I want to do the same as them, why can't I? Right? So he then, I said to him, what, you care more about protecting this stranger's feelings than you care about your sister, you know, what happens to her. So he relented and gave me the number. But in the meantime, I found out afterwards that he called the one in Canada to alert her that I was going to call. And then it turns out that she, this is the funniest part, she agreed that I was justified for responding to the message in the way that I did. Since when? With these people, this supposed family, in all the years I've known them, they take the side of the stranger. It's like with the mother-in-law, when she sent her daughter from Canada to live with me. I got the email under no circumstances is she to go and live with her grandmother. Why didn't she just tell the grandmother? Right? And then when all of that blew up and she did end up living with the grandmother and the grandmother threw her out, who was the scapegoat? Did anybody back me up? So what's with all of this all of a sudden? I suspect it's because they don't want me to dump my sister in a care home and you know, sort of like pass responsibility over to them. So they're being nice. But you see, nice doesn't wash with me. I only do genuine. I don't give a damn about nice. So when I spoke to this Natalie character, she didn't answer her phone when I called. But by now I'd stored her number as Natalie Bitch. Right? So I saw my phone ringing and it was Natalie Bitch calling me. So anyways, I asked her, I went straight and I said, Natalie, I presume, can you please tell me what is your understanding of the full care package? And straight away she got defensive. Straight away. So I pointed out to her what the supposed full care package that my sister is receiving entails. And then she said something about being in bed with flu and she doesn't want me talking to her like this. My next thing to her was, I don't give a damn that, it should have been, I don't give a damn that you're in bed with the flu. How is this my problem? So, but I didn't say that, I just didn't respond because my goal was to keep her on the phone so she could hear it from me. And then when I had finished saying what I had to say, I then put the phone down. No, thank you, goodbye, nothing. I put the phone down and I went straight to WhatsApp and sent her a voice message, and I opened with, I was being nice because I didn't want you to hang up. And then I went straight into it. I've got the video clip is like 3 minutes and 20 seconds. I've got the video clip. I've saved it. And for future reference, along with the message that my sister forwarded from her to me, I sent that message to 3 friends because we must have witnesses. But the one friend in particular is my sister's former work colleague who informed me some time ago that mother had phoned up the school because she died in March. So this is going back some time, called up the school and was shedding tears. And of course everybody believed her that I'm the big bad monster. What kind of monster would be there for 2.5 years stalking the prey? Surely I would have devoured the prey by now if I was that monster. Right? So there is that. But then we spoke afterwards and she said she read the message and it left her reeling. So basically the demands of this complete stranger is that all of a sudden she's respecting mums, as she calls her, wishes. Now, mum didn't want a funeral, but this person that she picked up off the street decided that, oh no, I'm going to give her a send-off. And the best that she could do was organize something where only 8 or 9 people attended. And that was nothing to do with COVID rules. I said to my brother today, if you'd given me 24 hours, I could have organized something better than that. So you see, she can go against mother's wishes when it suits her, but not so when it doesn't suit her. So it's all the jargon and everything about what I need to do. I need to get in touch with proof of ID, blah, 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 this, that, the other, what is required, how much they charge, name of the company, etc. And then she will pay the money directly to them. And I thought, who the F does this woman think she is? So you can understand. Maybe you can't understand, but obviously the only reason I got in contact with her was I don't give a damn what becomes of mother's money or anything that belongs to her, because what's hers is hers. You know, what's mine is mine. So I got in contact on the basis that I don't know who the F you are, and why do you think that I'm going to come to you with the demands that you're making? First of all, I don't even acknowledge the Prime Minister and the King of England as my leaders. I don't regard any member of the health profession as my medical care providers. I don't. So when they were going around vaccinating people, and you know, I get the messages about flu jab, I don't know who the F they're talking to, right? I don't. No, all right, basically, the only authority that I answer to, don't get me wrong, I will abide the laws of the land. The only authority that I answer to is God. I do not ever, you know, you will never, I will sooner die. You will never get me in a position where I'm going to yield to another human being. Whether or not that human being is powered by a demon, whether it's just that human being being an asshole, you will never find me yielding to another human being. That's never going to happen. Right, so that's why I got in contact with her. Because who the F do you think you're talking to? Actually, she wasn't even talking to me. It was like, that's how she answered my sister. So, I believe that she's living off whatever it is that mother left. And the only way, this is how stupid this woman was. The only way that my sister can inherit anything is if she remains dependent on carers. That money can only be used if she needs care. Right? So, knowing that there is money there to provide for her care, what is stopping me from effing off? I can just get somebody to look after her full time, and I can walk off and go and enjoy my life as I once used to. You see, so indirectly this woman, in trying to punish me, because she's, you know, all these things that she did was designed to punish me, to, you know, treat me like I'm a criminal, like don't let her get her hands on the money and all this thing. Right now, I can tell you, my sister doesn't have enough money coming in. And it's my money that is helping to keep her afloat. And has been from day one. So, like I said, she doesn't have enough for everything. Well, I'm going to wind up because I'm sort of coming into the home stretch. The whole point of this video is, as much as I've tried to cut off human beings, what I say, beware of Greeks bearing gifts. No disrespect to Greeks, right? Trojan horse and all of that. As much as I try to cut off people, it is only because this sister came along offering to help, which is something, I haven't mentioned it to my personal trainer today, right? And he's like me. He just comes out and says what he's thinking. So I said I should get in contact and was offering to help. And he goes, it's a bit late for that, isn't it? Right, so, never done anything to help. I'm not sort of bashing her. I'm saying other people who were in a position who could perhaps do something, put their hands in their pocket or something. You see, this is why I work all these long hours. And so, it doesn't matter how busy I am, how little sleep I've had, whether I've slept or not, I still have to keep going with my sister. And I said to her today, and this may seem wicked to some of you, but when I was talking to my brother, I turned to her and I said, the reason you're like that is because God has punished you, because you enabled this woman. You were always there, regardless of her bad behavior and how she treated us, the rest of us. Before that was my brother's role, but they fell out and then she picked up my sister. And I don't understand this thing where they need to have their mother's love. I don't give a F about love, right? So I made it clear that I don't love anybody. And when I say I don't love anybody, I mean I will never put anybody above myself. The only reason I'm there with my sister is because she can't fend for herself and she needs protecting. That's the only reason. I'm not doing it because I love her. I would do it for anybody. If I'm on the street right now and I see somebody being picked on and they can't defend themselves or whatever, I'm going to step in. That is how I roll. I don't, not so much I don't like to see injustices, but I've already stated my views on Qatar and all of that. It's their country, their rules, whatever. If you don't like it, don't go. Just F off. Nobody needs your virtue signaling. And I'm pretty straightforward like that. So I'm just there to do a job. There's no feelings and emotions involved. I'm just there to make sure that nothing untoward happens. Right? That's, like the vaccine, she doesn't want it. I'm just there to see that nobody comes in and does to her anything that she would rather not have done to her, namely the vaccine. Or she doesn't want to go into a care home. The only way she'll end up in a care home is if I decide, F this, I'm off. Right? So, in order for me to be able to deal with her tomorrow, knowing that she is the primary source of this problem, and again, it will seem harsh of me to say it, and I've said it though, God took this woman being mother, He took her off the face of the earth because of all the problems she was causing me. Right? I've already given a description. This woman was not a good person, but she deceived many. She deceived a lot of people. And speaking to my good friend, with this Natalie person, she said, well, it's not really her fault. She only knows what your mother told her. And I said, yeah, she's a complete stranger. Why is she believing a stranger? Why would somebody be coming to her and telling her their sub-story and you form an opinion based on what she's told you? I don't have any sympathy for people who do that sort of thing, because it's a choice. If somebody comes to me and starts telling me how their children are wicked or whatever, do you think that I'm going to take that on board without asking them a few questions? For all we know, Natalie is an opportunist. That's what I'm saying. For all we know, she is. And they say a fool and their money is soon parted. And so if Natalie is living large on whatever mother died and left behind, it serves all of them right. I've not lost anything because I didn't, like I said, she was trying to cut me into her will at one point, and I turned it down. Right? Like I said, I don't sit around waiting for somebody to die to inherit. And like I joked tonight with my friend, I said I'm the world's worst villain because to come and live like this for 2.5 years. But I mean, my sister hears me. She hears everything I say. Anything that I'm saying here, because I don't hold back. She hears. So I said to her, I could have just smothered with you with a pillow and have done with it if my intention was to, take what's hers, if you like. And she laughed because she knows I don't have that inclination. I mean, I said to my brother, actually no, it wasn't my brother, it was my friend. I said it's taken them all this time to, well, not them, her, because she's stuck with me. All this time to get to know me, because when I was doing music, it's because I'm too lazy to work. That was from mother. This was going back to the 90s. When I'm writing the book, this is early to 1999, yes. I'm writing the book as a get-rich-quick scheme. You see, this is the mentality that they all had. And all I was ever doing was minding my own business. I wasn't asking for their support. When I was playing with the band, at no point did I contact them and say, I'm playing with the band. Do you not want to come and watch me? I just got on with it. There are things that I've done that they know nothing about because they've never been interested in anything that I do anyway. Why am I going to force that on people? So this is why I have such strong views about these virtue signaling cowardly footballers who don't want to risk a yellow card going to Kuwait and trying to ram their wokeness down other people's throats. That's why I have that feeling. I'm black, and at no point would I ask anybody to kneel on my behalf to show support or tell them that Black Lives Matter. I don't give a damn. I don't need anybody to validate me. I've said this so many times. Least so supposed family. So this woman's gone to her grave acting like an asshole. And who does she think she's spiting? Now that I know that there's money put aside for my sister's care, I can F off if I so choose. I can go off and do my own thing. Right, the camera's frozen again. But I know, because I tested it before, that it's still recording. So if you don't, well, it's too late to say that now. But you can keep listening or whatever. But anyway, so yeah, so I've just come out on the road at this time in the morning to just have peace. There's nobody out here. There are cars. And a couple of guys stopped their car and was offering me a lift. And, you know, the usual, can I have your number? Can I get to know you? And I said, no, why not? And I said, because, you know how many guys ask me for my number wanting to get to know me? And I said, you might just have, you might be the exception, but I don't actually want to have anything to do with human beings. And they asked me why not, so I gave them a concise version of what I've just told you, right? So I don't need, my experiences with human beings aren't good, but it's not that is not the reason why. It's not like I said to the carer earlier, I said, regardless of what's going on, you've never come in here and see me feeling sorry for myself. I might speak my mind or whatever, but you will never find me thinking or acting poor me, playing the victim, right? So, having said that, that's not why I'm cancelling human beings. It's because, and I've said it many times, all the devil has is people, and he can use them, he can weaponize them for whatever reasons, whether it be jealousy, whether it be weakness, whether it be greed, whether it be anything you can think of. As long as there is human weakness, Satan can use them. And it's not a question about, well, you've got human weaknesses too. Whatever weaknesses I have, they are mine. And I'm not inflicting them on anybody. All I'm saying is I don't need anybody in my life because of their potential to cause problems. As you see, my sister got in contact with me offering to help. Out of the blue, offering to help. Right? So, had I not suggested to my sister that maybe she should say yes because she is offering, and I didn't say this to her, but my thought pattern was if you say no and then something happens, she's got that as an excuse to say, well, I offered and she turned it down. Right? But I'm telling you, all this crap with this Natalie character would never have happened had my sister not got in contact. But to end on a positive, God works in a mysterious way his wonders to perform. I know now that there is money put aside for my sister if she needs help, carers or additional. So my thing was that when I move, which I'm planning to do, I was going to get somebody to stay with her 3 nights a week, and then I would stay 4. I don't need to think about going into my own pocket to pay for this person to do that. That can come out of whatever funds Natalie has there. But I told her to F off, and I never wish to hear from her again. So however that's going to work out. I tried to call a social worker, but he doesn't work Monday and Tuesdays because he was going to get blasted as well. I will do it tomorrow. And I will suggest to him that between him and Natalie, because they entertain mother and her foolishness, between the two of them, they need to sort it out. Because I don't actually give a damn. I can walk away if I so choose, and it will be somebody else's responsibility, given that that money can't be touched unless it be the case that she needs care and I put it in writing. Who the fuck does she... Oh my gosh, I said it, sorry. Who the F does she think she is? But you understand, I don't swear. And the word came out involuntarily. Who does she think she is? Right? So, I'm going to wind up here. So, so long as I live, I'm never going to play. I'm never going to dance to mother's tune so she can F off as well. And people say, don't speak ill of the dead. I don't give a F. She was wicked in life. And she left her legacy. She left a legacy of wickedness. So it is what it is. All right, I'm back. And I'm going to say, see you later now. Got this roll of fabric to take up the stairs because I came downstairs. This morning, I went to training. Came back, there was nothing there. And then made a short video before I came out. And I've come down the stairs, so this roll of fabric's been sitting there from mid-morning, I would say. And there's 16 flats in this building. Everybody knows who the fabric would belong to. I'm not asking them to bring it up the stairs, but somebody could at least say, excuse me, there's a roll of fabric downstairs for you. Could have knocked the door. Or like I said, the carer walked past it in and out. I can see it as I'm standing outside the door here. I can see it just looking in. And so that's the nature, again, about human beings. They're effing good for nothing. And I know people say, not all. But like I said, as long as there are human weaknesses, Satan can use them. And my job is to have a peaceful, not necessarily stress-free, because the supposed stress I deal with by giving it back to the individual who's giving it to me, right? So my thing is to live a life of peace and oneness with God. And I tend to have that when I don't mix with people. But as I said, I just been out walking for nearly an hour. Been out walking just so I can restore my energy, because I've got to deal with my sister, who is part of the problem, until such a time as God gets me the hell out of here. I'm just waiting for the house to be ready, and then I can move. but that's in his own time. So, because that's the thing I don't do. I don't force any issues. If there's a delay with the house, it's for a reason. So I will wait until such a time as he sees fit. All right, this is like a 40-minute video. So I will say good morning to you all and have a lovely day. Take care. Bye bye.